Good morning, dear students. So, today we will be doing comprehension, two passages. First passage. Read the passage given below and answer the questions that follow. In India, March 8th has been Women's Day for several decades. It received major boost during the tenure of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and later Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, who made it a practice to invite a large number of women of substance to a celebratory get together in Delhi. As more and more Indian women became aware of their equal status and right of education and opportunity, March 8th acquires a greater and wider significance. Today, as 21st century India women celebrate their awesome achievements, they continue to spell out their dream for the future of the country. March 8th becomes a symbolic day for recognizing their vision and contribution to the building of India. In the last few years, Women's Day celebrations have encouraged them to come together in innumerable seminars, networking gatherings, and even sponsored parties. It is a time when powerful men from all walks of life pay rich tributes to Indian women. An example is a priceless remark made by Amitabh Bachchan. He said, "It is clear that the 21st century belongs to women. They have earned every bit of the power and glory they are enjoying, and men should applaud their achievements wholeheartedly." Indian women have discovered three magical mantras of life in the last decade. These are 1. Beauty and glamour are their birthright. 2. Women are no longer the worst enemies of women. In fact, they can network, mentor each other, and reach unprecedented heights of achievement. 3. Energy is a stretchable concept. Based on these three discoveries, women have upgraded their goals, literally covered every field of endeavors with glory and pride. They have shown beyond doubts that as the world opens new windows of options and opportunities at the speed of light, they are smart, beautiful, and savvy enough to rise to the occasion and turn the tide of fortune in their favor. The success of India's beautiful women has also created a huge revolution in the fashion, fitness, and beauty industries. Fashion designers of the 80s, who limited their designs to various looks in the basic salwar kameez, have acquired a splendid plumage of innovation and exotica in the last 10 years. Many women designers like Ritu Kumar, Ritu Beri, Monisha Jaisingh, Anna Singh, Neeta Lulu, and others gave Indian fashion wear a brand new definition. Today, Indian designers not only sell their collections each season in India, but they also export their styles to many countries, to high end stories in the UK, US, Europe, and Australia, and hold shows in the fashion weeks held in many of the world's fashion capitals like Milan and Paris. Now, moving on to the questions. Question 1. What is the last magical mantra discovered by Indian women? Question 2. Name the fashion capitals of the world. Question 3. When do we celebrate Women's Day in India? Question 4. What is responsible for the revolution in the fashion in India? Question 5. When did the Women's Day celebration receive a major boost? Question 6. What kind of fashion was prevalent during 80s? Find out a word from the passage which means 1. Sell goods to another country. 2. Practical knowledge of something. 3. The social position of somebody in relation to others. And dear students, suggested answers of the above questions are: answer 1, the last magical mantra discovered by Indian women is this, that energy is a stretchable concept. Answer 2, Milan and Paris are the fashion capitals of the world. Answer 3, we celebrate Women's Day in India on 8th March. Answer 4, splendid plumage of innovation and exotica is responsible for the revolution in the fashion in India. Answer 5. The Women's Day celebration received a major boost during the tenure of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi. Answer 6. The kind of fashion prevalent during 80s was limited to various looks in the basic salwar kameez. Answer 7. Export. Answer 8. Savvy. Answer 9. Status. Moving to the second passage. The seasonal problem of water taps running dry is plaguing most of our major cities. With the bigger rivers flowing in trickles and ponds and wells reduced to clay pits, village women in remote areas have to fetch every drop of water for drinking, cooking, washing, and so on across large distances. This has only worsened perennial problem, that of widespread pollution of water, rendering it unfit for human consumption. The monsoons and the attendant floods will not solve this problem. The Delhi administration is seriously worried about the threat to civic health posed by the polluted waters of the Jamuna. 2 new tanks are to be set up to treat sewage. At present, only 60% of the 200 million gallons of the city's sewage receives any kind of treatment before it is dumped into the river, which supplies water not only to this city but to innumerable towns and villages downstream. The Ganga, the Jamuna, the Kaveri, in fact, all our important rivers serving many urban conglomerations are fast becoming a major source of disease. A comprehensive bill introduced in Parliament recently envisages the setting up of central and state boards for the prevention and control of water pollution. But it will obviously take some time before legislation is passed and effectively implemented. Meanwhile, the problem continues to swell. According to a survey of 8 developing countries, unchanged story today in a country like India, a burgeoning population continuing to use the open countryside as a laboratory means that with every dust storm and rain, human excreta laden with germs and parasite spores find their ways to ponds, shallow wells, and even the streams and rivers. Only 18% of the rural folk have access to potable water, near new threat that has already assumed alarming proportions is from industrial waste, which is generally dumped untreated into the nearest river. For instance, for every kilogram of processed hide, 30 to 40 liters of foul smelling wastewater has to be disposed of. There are at least 900 licensed tanneries in the organized sector. Putrefied paper and jute waste, metallic waste from straw board and textile mills, sulfur ammonia, urea, metallic salts, and corrosive acids all find their way to the rivers of India. It is important not only to make new laws to ensure the purity of water, but also to realize the urgency of implementing them ruthlessly if we are to avoid a national health disaster cutting across the barrier between towns and the countryside. Now, based on your reading, answer the following questions. Question 1. Which seasonal problem plagues our major cities? Question 2. How has water pollution become a health hazard? Question 3. What does the bill introduced in Parliament envisage? Question 4. What has the survey of developing countries revealed? Question 5. How are human excreta a major source of disease in India? Question 6. Which new threat is the writer talking about? Question 7. Find out a word from the passage which means 1. Countless, 2. Complete, 3. Cruelly. And the suggested answers, dear students, for the above questions are: answer 1. The scarcity of water is a seasonal problem that plagues most of our major cities. Answer 2. The pollution of water makes it unfit for human consumption and also a source of disease. Answer 3. The bill introduced in Parliament envisages setting up of central and state boards for the prevention and control of water pollution. Answer 4. The survey of 8 developing countries has revealed that 90% of all child deaths are due to waterborne diseases. Answer 5. The human excreta from the open countryside finds its way into the source of water. The germs and parasites carried by it spread diseases. Answer 6. The writer is talking about the threat of untreated industrial waste being dumped into rivers. Answer 7. 1. Innumerable. 2. Comprehensive. 3. Ruthlessly. Thank you, my dear children, and have a wonderful day ahead.